Good day, everyone. It's Lewie coming at you. Today's video might be a little longer than normal, so if you want, go ahead and pause, grab yourself a drink or a snack, find yourself a comfortable place to sit and have a seat. All right, well, now that you're back, we're going to start with Joe Biden and the mistakes that he's been making as far as national and international situation goes. Let's start with the national, this inflation, the border crossings and all that. We'll start with the inflation. What Joe needs to do is stop making more money. And when I say making more money, I don't mean he's giving himself raises. What I'm saying is he's having our Mint produce more money so that he can pay the bills to the loans that he's taking out in order to do this Build Back Better. The more money you have in circulation, the less it's worth. The less it's worth, the higher the prices go. The higher the prices go, the less money we have in our pockets. The interest rates are going up, which means there's less money in our pockets yet again. So either way, we're losing because Joe Biden don't know how to keep his hands off of the spend button. Okay? As far as the border goes, Trump had it all figured out. He was building a wall. He was having the hordes of people being held in Mexico or even in their own home countries. And he was doing great. He had less illegal crossings. Now, why is the illegal crossing so bad? Well, first off, the illegal immigrants work for a whole lot cheaper because they work off the books. Secondly, a lot of those illegal immigrants come here and they live off our welfare system, our social security system, and they haven't paid into any of it. Third, they're bringing drugs over the border. Fentanyl. Fentanyl is a dangerous drug, and it's the number one killer, the way I understand it. It's the number one killer of people from their teens to the age of 45 or 49. I don't remember what I was told. But it's a big killer. Fortunately, there are those of us who don't do drugs, and we don't run that risk. But what about the ones that do, our loved ones that do drugs? What do we do with them? You know, how do you protect them from something that's coming across the border that you don't even know they've gotten into? All right. As far as the international, I mean, there's a lot of other things. There's the police thing where crime is like way out of control. And the only thing that he can do about that is to send money to these cities that have defunded the police and tell them, use this money, build your police back up, and give them what they need to arrest and prosecute these individuals. And you need places like New York who are releasing individuals just for the hell of it when they should be in jail waiting their day in court. He needs to step on them and say, hey, this ain't happen no more. Get the bail back. Get all this other stuff that you're trying to get rid of back, and let's get this crime situation down. Instead, he and all the others are blaming guns. Guns ain't gonna hurt nobody as long as they're laying on the table or in the gun rack or whatever. They ain't hurting nobody. All right, it's when you get these guns in people's hands who don't care. They're the ones that are making it bad. They don't care because they were never taught gun safety. They were never taught to care. And now they got guns, and now they want to blame guns, and it ain't guns. You can't blame an inanimate object for something that an animated object is doing. For example, you can't blame the gun for something that the person's doing with the gun. Guns have one purpose, okay? And that is when you pull the trigger, it sends a round down the barrel. It doesn't decide where the round's going to hit. It doesn't decide when to send the round down the barrel. It does what it's told to do when you pull the trigger, and it's told to send a round down the barrel. It's the people who are using the guns the wrong way that are the problem, not the guns, okay? I'll tell you right now, anybody that's got a gun, put a round in the chamber, put the safety on, lay it down someplace, and watch what happens. Did you notice that the last 5 seconds, nothing was happening except me moving around? Well, that's what's going to happen with the gun. It's not going to move around, though. It's just going to lay there. It's that simple. Guns do what they're supposed to. They are a tool. All right, nothing more, nothing less. They are a tool. And in the wrong hands, it can be considered dangerous to have that gun. But the gun isn't as dangerous as the individual that's holding it. The individual holding it has the ability to control that gun. And that person has the ability to decide how to use that gun. And that person has the ability to decide not to use the gun. It's that simple. As far as international goes, all right, you got Putin building his troops up on the border of the Ukraine. You got Biden offering 8,500 soldiers to help hold back Putin's army. He's not even putting these 8,500 in the Ukraine. He's putting them in the NATO countries that surround the Ukraine that are on the Russian border. 8,500 soldiers versus 100, I think it's up to 150,000 soldiers. We have excellent soldiers, do not get me wrong, but the numbers against them is staggering. You can't divide your 8,500 up and have them become a strong force. What he should be doing is he should be giving more soldiers all the equipment they need and all the logistics they need, and he should be matching them soldier for soldier, plane for plane, tank for tank, gun for gun, however you want to look at it, and put them all in the Ukraine. Have that entire border that Russia's building up on lined with soldiers from us and from the other NATO countries. Now, I know the Ukraine is not a member of NATO. However, if you want to keep Russia from expanding, you have to meet fire with fire. All right. Putin is an alpha male, just like Donald Trump was. Putin's an alpha male. The only way he's going to back down is if you make him realize that the threat he's creating is less of a threat than the threat that's coming back at him. Okay? It's the only way he's going to back down. He says he isn't interested in invading. He's just trying to keep Ukraine from being a member of NATO. Okay, well, he can do that diplomatically in NATO, at the UN, whatever. He can do that there. He doesn't have to put a bunch of troops on the border. So you know he's up to something, okay? It's that simple. Now, the thing is, if there's a war starts, our gas price is going to skyrocket through the roof, okay? It's just, they're going to go up, okay? And the reason is we are now dependent on Middle East and Russia for our oil and gas. Go figure. When Biden took over, he canceled the Keystone Pipeline, canceled another pipeline. Then he okayed this other pipeline to go from Russia to Germany, where we get some of that oil. That makes absolutely no sense to me. And this is why Germany's in such a tight place too, because they don't want to lose that oil, because that's going to break them. So what he needs to do is he needs to open up our pipelines. He needs to assure Germany that they're going to have oil and gas as needed. And he needs to stop that flow of oil and gas from Russia. He needs to stop it from going anywhere. Make it so that Russia cannot export any of it. That'll break Russia financially. And again, that'll make Putin back down. Putin, sorry, not Putin, Putin. It's it's a simple solution. With that border buildup on the inside of the Ukraine facing outwards towards Russia and the loss of that pipeline for Russia, he's going to withdraw his troops and he's going to sit there and he's going to say, I'm sorry. I was not thinking correctly. Now we still got a problem with China. China wants to invade Taiwan. And because Joe Biden looks weak from Afghanistan, they're liable to do it. And we're liable to get involved. And, you know, what have we got? Why? Because China sees Joe Biden as weak. Now, if China sees Joe Biden as weak, all right, and they want to go after and take over Taiwan, which they really shouldn't be doing, but Taiwan is a part of China. Joe Biden would be doing what he can to give Taiwan their absolute 100% independence and make them part of NATO and make it so China can't invade. And he's not. In fact, he's remaining pretty quiet about it. Now you also have the problem with North Korea. They're back to testing their nukes. Trump had that stopped. They weren't testing nukes with Trump. Why is that? Because Trump was an alpha male and he went after the problem when it came. All right. Joe Biden has been weak on the international scope for an entire year. He's been so freaking weak. It's been pathetic. I could probably bully Joe Biden into doing something if I really wanted to. All right. But I can't even get to him. If I did want to, I couldn't get to him. So, what the hell. But the point I'm trying to make is we have a weak leader. The international community sees it. And they are literally laughing at us all the way to the bank. Okay? You think Putin is going to back down with 8,500 foot soldiers and a few planes and a few tanks and a few this or that? No, he's not. He's laughing. He thinks that we're just trying to show the world that we're interested. I do believe that Biden thinks he's doing the right thing. I do believe that he thinks that. But a strong leader would be doing more. And he's not a strong leader. He went to Pittsburgh the other day to push forth an infrastructure bill. And the day he did it, a bridge in Pittsburgh collapsed. That bridge that collapsed wasn't even on the bill for repairs or replacement. So, my question to you is, if he's not going to repair the bridges or rebuild the bridges that need to be repaired or rebuilt, what infrastructure is he trying to work on? Like I said, this is going to be a little longer than normal. This one's going to be, it looks like it's going to be almost 15 minutes. So, y'all have a good day. And I think I've made some valid points. If I missed something, please make a comment. Have fun. Bye.